G'day guys and welcome back to AdosTheGreat YouTube channel. So guys, in today's video I will be giving you my round 10 NRL power rankings. Let's jump straight in. Look, first off, I've got to put the Dragons at 17th. They were disappointing on the weekend, and look, don't get me wrong, the Tigers weren't much better, but the Dragons are just, I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. The Dragons have been horrible this year. They've had some games where they've been all right, but I just don't know. I don't know about these Dragons, eh? Next up, I think the Tigers are actually doing. No, I've got to put the Tigers at 16th. They've jumped up a bit, definitely, but I don't know. They got a good win over Penrith. Don't get me wrong, that was a great win, but I don't know how to gauge them in that win over the Dragons because both teams, in my opinion, were pretty poor. So yeah, look, good wins, but I think there's still a fair way to go. Next up, I'm going the Bulldogs. I know they've been riddled with injuries, but I just can't put them higher at the moment. They have been disappointing. Even like with the injuries they've got, I thought they would have done a little bit better. But yeah, look, I think they've been disappointing, and hopefully they make their way back up. But at this point in time, I can't see it happening. Next up, it's between these two. Or actually, sorry, these three. I'm going to go. I'm going to go the Eels. I'm going to go the Eels, I think. Actually, no, Yeah, I'm going to go the Eels. Look, they've been pathetic this year. They really have. Like, don't get me wrong. I understand a lot of their losses are by literally next to no points. And their for and against is actually better than any team from 5 all the way down to last. Like, for and against wise, it's great, but they're just not winning, and they're not winning games that they probably should be. So I can't put them any higher. I'm going to go the Knights next. I think the Knights, they've surprised me sometimes this year. They a game over Penrith where they probably should have at least drew. Like, I thought they were really good in that game. And there's been games where they've very much surprised me, and then there's been games where they disappointed me. Sorry. I think that eventually they could make their way up higher. It's just a question mark of what they're going to do with Ponga. So for me, Knights at 13th is pretty good. Cowboys 12th, good win on the weekend. Really good win over the Roosters. Like, Cowboys fans, you should be very impressed with that victory. But I can't put them any higher. Can't put them any higher. One good win doesn't mean they go up into the top 8. Like, let me see a really dominant performance over the Dragons, and then we'll talk about going further up the ladder. Next up, we've got, I'm going to put Manly in 11th. They were abysmal against the Broncos. I have backed them against Cronulla this week. I think it's a do-or-die game for them. I really do. Like, I understand, they're literally one win off the top 4. Like, anything can change in a week, but they've been disappointing the last few rounds, and I think they need to put their foot down and start getting some good wins. Next up, going to go the Raiders. Raiders in 10th, I think, is fair. Raiders have looked really good so far this season. Well, to start the year off, they were pretty poor, but they're starting to look a lot better now. Decent win over the Bulldogs, but probably could have been a little bit better. I think they are trotting along a little bit better than Manly at this point. But yeah, look, I still need to see more good footy from them. So that's where they sit at the moment. Next up, I'm going Roosters in 9th. Roosters, it's hard to say. It's hard to say because there's been games this year where they have been great, and there's been games this year where they have just not looked like the Roosters. So I think dropping Sam Walker was actually a stupid decision from the Roosters, and I reckon he gets picked this week. I really do. Next up, I am going the Warriors. I've still got them in my top 8. Look, they have been disappointing the last few weeks, and a lot of it does come from refereeing. I'm not going to lie. I do think the Warriors have had some pretty bad calls go against them. But in saying that, they have made costly errors that aren't helping their case as well. So I think the Warriors are still better than all 9 teams I've got below them. But they've really got to start improving, and they need to get a win this week. And realistically, I think they need to get a good win this week. Next up, I'm going to put Storm. I know that probably a controversial take here, but it's hard. Look, if they get a good win over the Broncos, then sure, we can talk about putting them higher. They were off the bye last week. Like, they realistically should have gotten a good win. They got a win over the Warriors at home, but it wasn't anything great. And then the week before that was the loss to Manly. So I think they've actually been quite disappointing, to be honest. And I think all 6 teams I'm going to put above them are better. I genuinely think that. In saying that, next team, the Titans. Titans in 6th for me. I think they're growing to be a top 8 team. I really do. They're getting good wins without their star players. AJ Brimson was out against Para, who were in a grand final last year, and while they haven't been playing their best, still a good team. So shout out to the Titans. They're doing well. Sam Verrills is out. You've got Jermaine Jolliffe out. Bo Fermore's not playing. Like, the Titans have a lot going against them at the moment, and they're winning games. So they definitely deserve to be there in 6th. So if we look at the Titans, like, they beat the Eels. They beat Manly convincingly at Brookvale, which doesn't happen very often. Close. The Dolphins game was disappointing, and they've bounced back from that really well. That first half was clinical, and I reckon they'll learn from that, and this won't happen again. They blew a lead against the Broncos as well. So 2 disappointing games in a row, but before that, like, they beat the Dragons, which isn't that great this year, but still, in my opinion, a really good win. I think they've done really well this year. I really do. So I think they definitely deserve to be where they're at here at 6th spot. So I'm just looking back at what they've done. Dolphins for me actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna put Cronulla. I'm going to put Cronulla. Cronulla were disappointing this week. Dolphins beat them. I think Dolphins deserve to be in the top 4 of the power rankings. I'm pretty confident to lock that in. For me, they're 4th. Not too much more to talk about. Shout out to Wayne Bennett. Good win on the weekend for his 900th. Definitely deserved. I'm just disappointed I didn't tip the Fins, to be honest. So, good win for the Dolphins. Panthers, for me, are sitting 3rd at the moment in the power rankings. They weren't great against the Warriors, but they weren't bad either. I just don't think they're the team we're used to. Broncos, 2nd. I think they still deserve to be sitting in 2nd. Even after that loss to the Rabbitohs, they bounced back with a good win over Manly. And I know Manly's not really. Look, I don't know how to rank Manly at the moment, but good win for the Broncos, and I think they deserve to sit in 2nd. And then between the Broncos and Rabbitohs is a huge gap, in my opinion. I think, and look, you can call me biased all you want, I think the Rabbitohs are by far the form team in the competition. Let me just check Sportsbet to see who's favourite to win the comp, because if it's not the Rabbitohs, then that's a bloody joke. Honestly, that is a bloody joke if it's not the Rabbitohs. Rabbitohs 450, Panthers 420. I think that's stupid. Rabbitohs definitely should be more favoured to win the comp, in my opinion. They are humming at the moment and deserve to be 1st in the power rankings. And if you don't have them 1st in the power rankings, there's something wrong with you, in my opinion. But that is going to wrap it up from me, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know what you would change on your power rankings. And as always, my friends, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.